Hey there! Today we are delving into the 12th and final variation of the Sil'dihn Subterrane VC, or the first variant dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. This path is known as In Parchment We Trust. My guide will get you from start to finish, and hopefully the most ridiculously adorable Silkie Mount in under 20 minutes. Let's go! To begin, we will head over to the right path after a brief dialogue from Nana Mo. After following a linear path, we reach the first set of monsters to dispatch. As a tank-healer duo, we were able to do this in a modest amount of time and had no worries about losing to these trash pulls. As a side note, we did all the Sil'dihn Subterrane paths blind to see if we could learn the mechanics as a duo. I only remembered to record the last path. However, I will go back to the previous 11 paths to create guides for those as well. There are 3 sets of trash mobs before reaching the mid-dungeon boss. You should have no issues clearing these. Our setup was a Dark Knight tank and a Sage healer. I used the dungeon actions for Cure and Raise, while my partner used Spirit Dart and Rampart. These abilities are set through the VC Dungeon Finder menu, as shown at the beginning of this video. After slaying the 3 groups of monsters, you will pass a ruptured pipe spilling out water or ceruleum. We ran past it during most of our paths, and it wasn't until later that we realized it impacted the mid-dungeon boss's mechanics. The image shown is ceruleum leaking out, but ours for this run was water. I will explain with more clarity during the boss fight. Here is the mid-boss, Garion, the Steer. He may seem like a gigantic pain, but his moves are easy to learn. He opens with the Tank Buster, Colossal Strike. Now remember I said the burst pipe matters? With the move Subterranean Shudder, if you see water, like we did, the boss will churn water on diagonal quadrants that later explode. It is easy to avoid since you only need to move from left to right at this point. If it is ceruleum, 2 quadrants directly next to each other will explode, leaving puddles that cause damage over time. Next, Garion uses Exploding Catapult. The move drops red or blue-topped barrels. Red means move away, and blue means stack on top. You will need to pay attention to the variations of this mechanic as we go. After the 2-barrel mechanic, the boss will combine the move with Colossal Slam or Colossal Lunge. It is important to note that Exploding Catapult also does light arena-wide damage. For Exploding Catapult and Colossal Slam, one party member will be targeted for the cone-wide AoE for the slam. Once the cone marker is on the ground, simply run to a blue barrel that isn't within the slam cone AoE. When Exploding Catapult is combined with Colossal Launch, the barrels will flip, making all red barrels blue and blue barrels red. The best way to spot the mechanic is when he drops 3 blue barrels and 1 red. After learning those combination mechanics, the boss will add Gigantomill to Exploding Catapult. For this move, pay attention to the direction in which the cross AoE will rotate and face your character in the direction to move once the catapult mechanic is complete. Adding Colossal Charge to Exploding Catapult means the boss will jump to either side of the arena and put up a shield pointing in one direction of the arena. The solution to this mechanic is to find the blue barrel on the opposite side of the shield it is facing and stack on it. The boss will charge across the arena and you will be vulnerability-free. However, Garion will immediately use Colossal Slam, forcing you to run to the side for safety. After progressing through the Exploding Catapult mechanics, Garion will combine Subterranean Shudder with Colossal Swing. You will need to avoid the exploding water like you did in the beginning. However, now you need to avoid the half of the arena he is facing for Colossal Swing. It will cover 2 whole quadrants. From here, you will simply rinse and repeat the mechanics until Garyon the Steer reaches a health gauge of 0. Be sure to collect your spoils individually. Compared to other dungeons with need and greed rolls, variant dungeons have personal loot chests. When you reach the impasse, you will wait for Nanamo to finish her monologue. Once done, the rusty winch will become active for you to select. The menu will appear, and you will choose the right side. Take the right path and progress along, taking out the first group of monsters. This group consists of Forgotten Dara and Forgotten Spiders. Move to the next set of monsters once the group has been dispatched. This group is a family of drakes. You need to attack and take out the mobs in a particular order. That order is Drake Father, Drake Mother, Drake Brother, Drake Sister, and finally, Drake Ling. You are attacking from the largest to the smallest. Make your way up to the ceremonial stores, where you will face off against your final group of trash mobs. Once the last mob has fallen, head to the northeast wall to interact with the myrrh incense burner when it becomes active. If you do not reach it in time, you will not be able to get the final boss. With the incense in hand, take a moment to set up the emotes you will need to unlock the final boss. You will need Bow, Respect, V-Pose, and Kneel. Now, head up to the final boss arena. After yet another monologue from Nanamo, the fallen hero's sarcophagus will become active. One player in the party will target it and perform the emotes in the following order: Bow, Respect, V-Pose, and Kneel. A hidden door will open at the back of the arena, leading to the final boss fight. Head to the back, enter Friendship's Testament for a brief cutscene, and prepare for your final foe. The final boss is an armed automaton known as Thorn Knight. He doesn't have many moves compared to Garyon, but they can be confusing if you don't have the mechanics down. Don't worry, I stumbled a bit so that you can finish it in one shot. The Thorn Knight opens with an area-wide mechanic called Cogwheel that deals a hefty amount of damage. This move is unavoidable. Next, the boss throws up blue triangles and flaming circles to a random side of the arena. This move is Spring to Life. Red activates the cannons on that side of the room, and the blue activates the mammoths in the direction the boss points the triangles. If that wasn't enough, prepare for a high-damage tank buster called Blistering Blow. The boss will target the player with the highest enmity. Hopefully, if you aren't soloing, it hits your tank. Thorn Knight prepares for Honor, a non-telegraphed, forward-facing, high-damage AoE. For this move, you want to get to the boss's back quickly. Otherwise, you may end up taking it to the face. Slash Burn may seem straightforward initially, but don't worry, it becomes more complicated after the first activation. This move has a red fire line AoE and 2 blue cone AoE. The next mechanic is Signal Flare. This move creates 3 AoE flame circles in a line for a total of 9 circles covering the arena floor. They will explode in the order they are placed in the arena. The best way to avoid this is to stand where the last circles are dropped. This will give you time to move to a new area before it explodes, where you stand. The boss is going to activate a variant version of Slash Burn. This time, stand in the middle of the red line. The new variation will swap sides for blue and red. Standing in the middle of the red will place you between the two blue cones. We learned in hindsight. The Thorn Knight combines Blaze of Glory with either Spring to Life or Slash Burn, because you weren't having enough fun already, right? Blaze of Glory creates 2 flame orbs on each side of the boss, creating large fire line AoEs. If the boss uses Spring to Life, you will look for the cannons and the mammoths to find a safe zone. With Slash Burn, you must line up appropriately and avoid the line AoE from Blaze of Glory. Simple, right? We have seen all the mechanics from here on out, and now it was time to practice. We only took 1 KO on this blind run. Hopefully, with my guide, you do not have to eat dirt, mainly to Slash Burn, like we did. From here on out, you can see the mechanics as they happen until we defeated the Thorn Knight. Here is a quick tip with For Honor. It helps if you are in his face or close to him before the mechanic activates. If not, employ any mobility skills you may have. Open your Achievements tab by selecting the link in your chat log or through the character menu. Under the last 5 achievements, you will see Dig Deep, the Sil'dihn Subterrane, and the unclaimed Silkie Whistle. Go ahead and claim that hard-earned Silkie Mount. All that's left is hopping on your ridiculously sweet and adorable mount and riding or flying all over Eorzea to show it off. I am a fan of riding it into PvP battles, but where you ride it is up to you. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video guide to the 12th path of the Sil'dihn Subterrane. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, like and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, stay safe and beautiful out there, my lovelies.